always been with our friends. Let's keep the Civil War out of this house.
Stay off my pretty toes, will you, Bob? What's the matter, Charlie? Don't you like a punch?
Oh, sure.
Adam, it looks like little Joe is rather taken with the charms of that Southern belle.
Yes, so it would seem.
Punch.
Friends, we're honored tonight by the presence of the distinguished English Shakespearean actor, Walter Craigsmuir. And I am fortunate to have been able to prevail upon him to recite a short selection from the performance which he'll be presenting at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Mr. Walter Craigsmuir.
Ladies and gentlemen, mine host, Mr. Cartwright, as you have requested, some words from the immortal bard. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent, that ye may hear. And awake your senses, that you may the better judge.
Look away.
If there be any man in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say,
Oh, I wish I was in
love for Caesar was no less than his.
Look away.
If
You have
then
enough
that
manners
friend
to be quiet?
demand,
You got something again, Dixie Yank?
Why don't you get out of here with your drunken rebel, Terry?
There are just as many Yankee drunks, Stuart. You will not bring the Civil War into my house.
Why don't you come out with it?
Out with it?
With what you're thinking.
Well, that could be a dangerous request.
I wasn't deaf last night when you made your remarks about Morvath.
Joe, I didn't say anything about the girl. Just about what she represents. Which happens to be a system based on the enslavement of human beings.
She doesn't believe in that any more than you do. She just feels the South has the right to work out their own problems. They don't want to be dictated to by a bunch of northern politicians.
You mean it wants to hold on to slavery for another 100 years?
I mean nothing of the kind. In either case, Morvath has nothing to do with it.
Now, Joe, that's not true, and you know it. She and her father are bound to the South and everything it stands for in the war.
Look, lately you've been twisting everything and everybody into the war or politics. Now, after this, I want you to leave my girl out of it.
Well, how can I? And she and her father are in it up to their necks. And they'll pull you in with them if you don't come to your senses.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of your prejudice against my girl.
And I'm getting tired of you being blinded by a girl when there's more important things to remember.
What's all this about?
Just trying to open his eyes a little.
Open his eyes about what?
About Judge Terry.
I'm not marrying Judge Terry.
Now, hold on there, boy. This is the first time you've mentioned anything about marriage?
I wasn't sure before. Morvath and I are going to be married. And I don't care about her father's politics. I love her and she loves me.
I think she'd say anything to get a cart right into the Terry faction.
Joe, cut up. Stop it.
Enough.
Oh, you know about Terry. You know Jefferson Davis has promised him the governorship to the territory if it goes Confederate.
What's that got to do with Morvath?
I just got through telling you.
Adam, can a young fella fall in love with a girl without war or politics coming into it?
Not when it's Terry's daughter.
Hey, Paul. Paul, we got a caller up to the house.
Who?
It's Bill Stewart. He says he wants to talk to you. It's important.
Tell him I'll be right along.
Yes, sir.
Now, how about both of you giving a little thought to the running of this ranch? And stop wasting your time on things that don't concern us.
I think that this war does concern us.
And we've got a ranch to run. And starting right now, we're all going to remember it. We got an offer from McKeeson and Carson for 50,000 feet of undressed timber. I want you and Hoss to head north and mark out the timber for cutting. It's about time the herd was inspected so you can pack your grub and take care of that. Maybe a couple of weeks on the trail will clear your heads and cool your tempers. Now, come on, there are a couple of things out here I want you to do.
Afternoon, Ben.
Hello, Bill. How are you?
Never better. In fact, I'm full of beans and benevolence this afternoon, Ben. The legislature just gave us the nod.
What nod?
Statehood. They've called a convention to meet in Carson City next week. 36 delegates from all over the Comstock to vote a resolution to join the Union. Now, we divided up the territory, and you're going to represent the Ponderosa.
Wait a minute now, Bill.
You've got the biggest spread in the area, Ben. You're entitled to representation. Oh, naturally, you'll be able to vote whichever way you want, for or against statehood. But I know you pretty well, Ben, and I'm pretty confident that I can
Don't be too confident, Bill.
About what?
About the way I'm going to vote.
Ben, you see what's going on in town. Terry's already lining up delegates to defeat a statehood resolution. He figures to lick us in the convention and then shove us over into the Confederacy.
That's just so much talk.
Talk, is it? The law says all statehood needs is a two-thirds majority. I've got 23 delegates pledged to me. That's one short. I need your vote, Ben. And Lincoln needs the silver. He needs it bad. Yeah.
Yes, he needs it bad. And so does Jefferson Davis need it bad. And if neither one of them gets it, the war will die of its own poverty.
Ben Cartwright, you got your head deeper in the ground than the deepest diggings.
Bill, this war has nothing to do with us here in the territory. But it's already divided my sons, one against the other. I don't want any part of it. And if statehood means war, then I certainly don't want any part of that. You're going to have to find your boat somewhere else. You're not going to find it here.
I never thought I'd see the day that you'd abandon your country.
You don't mean that.
Don't I?
What are you thinking about?
I was thinking about the dance the other night.
Oh. I'm sorry about what happened. I guess feelings are running pretty high, though.
But that wasn't what I was thinking about, little Joe. I was thinking about the dress Emily wore. Did you notice it?
Her dress? Oh, I didn't even notice Emily.
I understand that dress came all the way from London, right through the British blockade. There across the country. It was a beautiful dress. Father said I could order one from Paris, France next year.
Well, we'll have a party so you can show it off.
We haven't had a party in our house in ever so long. I love parties, little Joe, where everyone looks so nice. The men are all standing up so straight and proper, wearing their best clothes. The ladies can show off their latest gowns.
We'll have lots of parties. I might even invite somebody else. I don't know. Of course, most of the time it'll be just you and I. See, I don't want to share you with anybody else.
Little Joe, someday I want a large white house with 6 tall pillars reaching clear up to a balcony. A house like the one my father tells me he used to have back in Virginia.
All right, I'll build you a house like that. I've got the perfect spot for it, too, right on the Ponderosa. It's a real high bluff with a view as far as a man's eye can see. I'll build a little road up to it.
Oh, it sounds so wonderful. I just hope nothing ever happens to change that.
You know what could happen to change that? I love you more than anything in the world.
Thank you very much, Judge Terry. Lovely color, isn't it? Well, sir, have we demonstrated to you that we can provide 1 or 2 little items that won't insult the European palate?
The dinner was superb. The simple miner of my native Wales manages somehow to subsist in a slightly less ornate manner, I must confess. But then your mines yield silver. Ours merely coal.
And that silver, sir, is most important. If we block statehood, and I think we can, there'll be no silver for Mr. Lincoln's war chest. If I
I gather you're referring to your Civil War.
Yours as well as ours.
Well, I wonder how in the world you arrive at that conclusion.
You know how I arrive at it. You people are praying for a Southern victory. Your cotton industry has got to have a Southern victory in order to survive. That's common knowledge.
Well, I must confess it wasn't common knowledge to me. But then I know absolutely nothing about politics.
I'm prepared to accept your incognito, sir.
My incognito?
Your disguise.
Oh, I know what the word means. But what, may I ask, am I supposed to be disguising?
Mr. Craigs, now, don't make me spell out every sentence like I paid from McGuffey's reader. We were promised an agent to work with us. For the last 6 months, we've been expecting that agent to make his appearance.
An agent here in Virginia City? You think I'm he?
Well, aren't you?
Good heavens, no. I'm an actor, sir. A strolling bear. A mummer.
Don't toy with me, sir. We're bleeding to death, fighting for our lives. The silver under our feet can stop that bleeding, but we need help.
If I were this man you're talking about, how do you suppose the people this so-called agent represents can help you?
Invest in our future. Invest in the only thing that can stop this war with victory to our cause. The South is impoverished, crippled, desperate. But we will win, sir. We must win. But we need money for men. We need money for arms and ammunition. With money, we can block statehood. With the help that you people give us, we could keep this great silver treasure of the Comstock lode from falling into the hands of the enemy.
Miss Terry, Mr. Cartwright.
How are you, sir? This rumor, Joseph. Is it true your father won't join Stewart's delegation?
Yes, that's right, sir. He's against statehood at this time.
That's how you heard, didn't you? No two-thirds majority, no statehood.
I'm only an actor, Judge Terry, nothing more. That reminds me, I must get back to the hall. Thank you for an excellent dinner. I'm sorry I have to run like this. Miss Terry, Mr. Cartwright.
What's Mr. Craigsmure's interest in our problems, Father?
All in good time, my dear.
Peter?
Yes, sir?
There's the door. I've been waiting for you.
You're going to be late for your performance.
There are more important things than a performance. I have a task for you, a very important one.
Yes?
You're going to San Francisco.
San Francisco, Mr. Craigsmere?
That's right.
And when?
Now. Immediately. At once.
But the curtain goes up in 10 minutes.
Blast the curtain, boy. I told you this was important. You know where to take us?
The same place. Are you sure you won't need me?
Oh, I was able to dress myself before we met. I think I still remember how. I'm depending on you, Peter.
I'll remember, sir.
Good luck to you. And don't forget, it's vitally important.
I understand. Oh, and you remember. Curtain in 10 minutes.
Morning, boys.
Morning, Paul. Morning.
All set?
Yeah, we're on the way, Paul.
I figure it shouldn't take you any more than a couple of weeks to get the tree blazing done. Better move out.
We'll see you later, Paul.
Yeah, have a good trip. Keep an eye out for the Paiutes.
Oh, we will.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, Pop. Adam Lee?
Yes, just now. About time you got started, isn't it?
As soon as I finish eating.
Well, I hope you'll both feel differently by the time you get back.
I'm going to feel just the same. If he doesn't change, that's his problem.
Don't fly up at me, boy.
Well, then you tell Adam to keep his mouth shut about the girl I love.
Don't raise your voice to me. I have no chip on my shoulder to be knocked off.
I'm sorry.
Joseph, I've been in love, too, in my lifetime. Now, you think that she is the most beautiful, most wonderful creature that ever lived, don't you?
I know she is.
Well, you're wrong. Your mother was. You know, taking a wife is more than just taking a woman. There's her family that you have to consider, too.
Come on, Pa. I'm not marrying her family.
But you still can't forget the family. And you can't ignore the fact that there's a hate festering this country which is like an open wound. We're a divided country. Homes, families, fathers and sons not daring to speak their own minds to one another.
I don't understand. Yesterday you said we should stay out of this.
Yes, I did.
All right, then why is it my problem now?
Before this is over, this war, it'll be everybody's problem. Because sooner or later, we're going to have to make a decision. And whatever that decision, we're all going to suffer and bleed and maybe die.
Each one of us is going to have to make his own decision, Pa. I better get started.
Next time we'll hang you next to Abe Lincoln. You dirty grape gully.
Stuart, what are you trying to do in this town? Starting riots in the street, fist brawls.
I was only hanging up a banner. In case you've forgotten, Judge Terry, free speech is still allowed in this territory. I've not forgotten that, or many other things. Well, remember that, before you order your thugs to start jumping on people. Southerners are no brawlers, sir. My son was no brawler. He was a soldier. He fought with General Jackson. He died for the wrong cause, Judge. I'm sorry for him. The wrong cause. You are the man who's leading the people to the wrong flag. Your statehood, it will fail. It's already a foregone conclusion you'll not get your needed votes. The Nevada Territory will go to the Confederacy, sir.
Judge Terry, I'm afraid I have to disagree with you. I honor your views, sir. I know you believe in them sincerely. I know how bravely your son fought. I've been hoping that the Comstock somehow would be able to keep out of it. But it looks like we can't keep out of it, doesn't it? If it comes to making up our minds about going one way or the other, Union or Confederate, I think we'd better go Union. Too many men have died putting this Union together for me to stand by and see it destroyed. I guess you can count on the Ponderosa bill. I'll go to Carson and vote for statehood.
God bless you, Ben. I've got my 2/3.
Morning, Daddy.
Oh, good morning.
You haven't eaten any breakfast at all.
I've just had this telegram.
Oh?
How to do it. How to use it so that its value won't be dissipated. Marva?
Yes, Daddy.
Joseph Cartwright.
Little Joe? What about him?
Where is he?
He's gone with the men to check the herd.
He'll be back when?
He ought to be back this afternoon.
This afternoon. And his brothers?
Well, they won't be back for another week. They're blazing trees up north. Daddy, why are you asking all this?
I want you to come with me.
Come with you where?
To Ponderosa. You finish your breakfast and get a bonnet. While I have Gamaliel hitch up the trap.
Daddy, what's in that telegraph?
Ammunition for the battle. The only ammunition, it seems, I'm to be issued in this war.
I won't let you use little Joe in your war with Mr. Stewart.
My war is not with Stewart. It's with those men who are trying to steal the territory of Nevada for the northern side.
Whatever you call it, Daddy, I don't care. I won't let you use little Joe. And don't ask me to help you use him.
Do you think I want to? Do you think I want to use my own daughter? We must win. Doesn't your brother's dying have any meaning for you?
Daddy, please.
Then don't make me believe that he died for nothing. This is your war, too, isn't it, Morvath?
You know it is, Daddy.
And if you won't do it for me, won't you do it for your brother? And Joseph, too. Believe me, he'll be much better off if he declares himself with us instead of men like Stewart.
I don't know. I've got to think about it.
No, my dear, you haven't time. Do you realize how many boys like your brother have died while we've been sitting talking here?
I'll get my bonnet.
Good. Oh, how'd it go, son?
Just a lot of cattle.
Yeah? How'd you find them?
Well, they're not too scattered. They're getting fat.
Good.
Fences are all in good shape.
Good. How are the men?
Men are fine. Real good. You hear anything from Adam?
No, not yet. He and Hoss are up in the north section. They got plenty of work to do up there.
Well, that's good.
Hmm?
Maybe he won't be so cantankerous when he gets back.
Well, Judge, how nice to see you. That right? Nice to see you again, Morvac. You're looking prettier than ever.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright.
It's good to see you, Cartwright. Well, thank you. Could we have a little talk? It's most important. Well, certainly. Well, why don't we go into the house? I'll clean up a bit. We can talk.
Morvath and I'll be in just a few minutes.
Fine.
What's so important?
Joe, I missed you, darling.
I miss you too, sweetheart. Hey, what brought you out here anyway?
Your father's going to the convention.
I thought he wanted to stay out of it.
He's not going to stay out of it. Joey's going to vote for statehood.
Statehood, huh? Maybe we better get in there.
Before we go in, my father, I want you to know he's doing what he has to do. And what he thinks is best.
And you've got all this land here, clear down to the lake.
Now, Judge, you don't have to tell me where the Ponderosa boundaries lie. What are you getting at?
Well, just this. You've got all this land and only one delegate going down to Carson City to represent it. Now, the apportionment committee says that that's not fair.
Well, I think I could speak for the Ponderosa.
Not you alone. Not anymore. Now, here's a telegraph received this morning, replying to the committee's request. Ponderosa is now authorized to send 2 delegates to the convention.
Now, what does Bill Stewart think of this?
What Stewart thinks about it has nothing to do with it.
I don't quite understand what... There are only Cartwrights on the Ponderosa.
We know that. So pick one to be your delegate. There are 4 of you here.
But 2 of the boys won't even be back until after the convention. And you knew that too, didn't you, Judge?
Well, that's not important now. You read the telegraph?
Yeah. Yes, I read the telegraph. And this whole thing is beginning to smell like a...
Smell like nothing, Cartwright. We're only asking another representative of the Ponderosa to come down to Carson City as a delegate. The way he votes is his own business.
Don't take me for a fool, Terry. You don't believe that, neither do I.
You have your beliefs, Cartwright. I have mine. And may I remind you that several days ago you told me you honored my views.
May I remind you that several days ago you didn't try to come between me and my sons.
What grounds have you for such an accusation?
Judge, I'm just wondering something. I'm wondering what your son, who died at the Battle of Keensburg, would think of you now.
Don't try to shame me with the memory of my son, Cartwright. He died fighting for the same cause for which I would gladly lay down my own life.
I'm not questioning your beliefs, sir. Only the methods you use in accomplishing them.
Aye. Well, this should interest you, Joseph. Good day, Mr. Cartwright.
Come along, Marvath. Quite a drive back to Virginia City. Marvath, I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Mr. Cartwright, little Joe.
A request for another delegate from the Ponderosa.
That's right. With Adam and Hoss away, that makes you the logical candidate, doesn't it?
Well, I don't want to be a delegate.
I'm afraid you have no choice, son.
Yes, I do. This is not my problem.
No. But it has been presented to us. And to you.
You know, this is more of a problem for me than it is for anybody else.
I know. I know. And when it comes time for you to vote, you're going to have to vote not because of the way you feel about a girl or about me, but because of the way you feel about the issue. It's a problem. But it's also a responsibility.
This spend tonight.
What could you be doing that could be more wonderful than this?
I'll tell you what I could be doing. I could be sitting in Virginia City with a great big ice cold beer in front of me. That's what, or one of them roasted pigs with an apple stuck in his mouth.
Well, I owe you the apple. Now, if you get some wood, we can get the beans heated up.
That's what I mean. Beans.
Coyotes?
Ain't no doubt about it. Must have been a hunting party. You ever seen him before?
I think so. But if I'm right, I don't know what he's doing here.
Why? Where'd you see him?
Back in town, the actor, Craigsmuir. There's no address on this.
What is it?
And I thought he was just an actor.
Who?
Craigsmuir.
Oh, ain't he?
Take a look at that.
What do you make of this, Adam?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy? Oh, let's talk about cotton?
Yep.
Who want cotton bad enough to do something like this?
British textiles. They've already got their privateers trying to run a Union blockade off Charleston. And it's no secret they want the South to win. They need that cotton to keep their mills operating.
According to that letter, there's somebody right here that's willing to guarantee them that the South will win.
That's right. Money. Guns and ammunition.
And men.
Never thought Judge Terry would go this far.
Oh, now, come on, Adam. How do you know for sure it's Judge Terry?
I don't. But I know someone who does.
Hello, Joseph. I'm glad to see you. Wondering when you'd get here. Mr. Cartwright? Morvat here? Oh, yes, she's been expecting you. She's resting in her room. Ben, there you are. Welcome to Carson City. We're going to make history here Wednesday. Hey, we're going to have a little get-together in my room. You know, all the pledged delegates. You got here just in time to be in on it. Come on along and bring the youngster with you. Oh, he's not pledged yet, Stuart. How are you, Joseph?
Oh, sir, that's right. My vote isn't committed yet.
To anybody?
No, not to anybody.
That's honest enough, boy. Make up your own mind.
Little Joe, good to see you. We were wondering when you'd get here.
We were just going upstairs to see you.
I'm sure you two have much to talk about. Places, Ben. The boy isn't going to vote against us, is he?
We found your man a couple of days ago. The Paiutes got him.
Did?
He's very young.
Unfortunately, a lot of young men are dying these days.
These are difficult times.
Yeah. And fellers like you are trying to make them worse.
I don't think I quite understand you, sir.
And let me try. Who was this letter to, and what's more important, who was it about? And just who are you?
I could say I'm just a strolling player, an actor, man of the boards. That wouldn't satisfy you.
Nope. Sure wouldn't.
And let me just say the people I represent need the South's cotton to keep their mills rolling.
Enough to foster war?
Oh, that's a very moral approach. But then you don't need that cotton.
Who are you trying to make the deal with?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you what I can do. I can break you apart.
I could, you know.
All right, it's not of great importance now. My value here is gone. Your man is Judge Terry.
Looks like you were right all along, Adam. We just had to be sure.
Now we are.
State delegates will be glad to hear this. Gentlemen, I'm afraid you're too late. Statehood will be defeated, and Nevada voted into the Confederacy.
Well, after they hear what we've got to say, I wouldn't be so sure.
It won't matter now, thanks to your brother.
What do you mean by that?
Why don't you go to the convention and find out?
It's not going yet. Somebody's after my vote every time I stick my nose out of the room.
Well, they're just trying to be helpful.
I must think I need an awful lot of help.
Joe, you're on the delegate list as uncommitted.
That's right, I am.
Have you decided which way you're going to vote?
I'd say I haven't over and done with, but I haven't. Just can't decide yet. It's a pretty hard decision for me to make.
I'm sure of that, darling. I can just imagine what you've been going through. I'm also sure you know how I feel and how much this means to me. It's already cost me a brother. I'm committed, little Joe. I've taken a side. I just hope we're both on the same one.
You know I'd consider that. I'll do the best I can. Please remember, it's like my pa says, I must vote the way I think is right.
He's right, of course.
Thanks for understanding.
Well, it's time.
I guess it is time, isn't it?
Remember, whatever happens in there, I love you.
I know that. I'm just hoping this is all over. You'll say it again.
How's the time, Ben? You know yet how your boy's going to vote? The chips are down. They're going to call our hand.
Bill, the decision is not mine or yours. Where does he stand?
I don't know, Father. I'm sorry.
He must stand with the South.
Pass is required into the hall, sir.
I have something to say to these gentlemen.
Sorry, I can't allow.
I have something to say to this convention.
I'm sorry, sir, but nobody can speak here without proper credentials as a delegate. Now, with your approval, gentlemen, the clerk will now call the roll.
Gentlemen, it's important. I think you should hear it before you vote.
That's right. Mr. Chairman, this man is not a delegate. I demand that he be removed from the hall. Gentlemen, please. The convention is in order.
It'll only take a moment.
Or is this convention afraid to hear the truth?
Hold the delegates! We can't wait all day. If there's any further interference, I'll have the sergeant-at-arms handle the situation.
Mr. Chairman, my son asked a question which deserves an answer. Is this convention afraid to hear something which may be of vital importance to it?
He has a right to be heard.
Not here, he hasn't.
He says it's important.
It's a Yankee trick.
Hey, now, wait a minute. I'm a delegate. I have credentials. My brother says it's important. I believe him. I think we should hear him out.
If it's vitally important.
My brother and I found this letter on a dead man's body on the Ponderosa. It was written by one Walter Craigsmuir, an actor whom some of you may remember has been appearing in Virginia City for the past several weeks.
What are we waiting for? I say begin the votes.
It reads, I've been assured that given our support in terms of money rushed from San Francisco to Carson City for men, guns, and ammunition, the Nevada Statehood Convention can be stampeded and the territory enjoined to the Confederacy, as this would ensure Union defeat through depriving Mr. Lincoln of the wealth of the Comstock and thereby ensure a continued flow of cotton to British mills. I would recommend we do business on the terms suggested. Signed, Craigsmuir.
Who assured him? This convention has the right to know the answer to that question.
Gentlemen, that man who Judge David Terry.
That's true. I do not deny it. But what I did because I had to do. And I'm proud of it. I believe in my cause, and I'll fight to win it with any means I know and by every strength that I possess. Is there any man here whose faith in his cause is so small that he will not seek victory in a similar manner?
No, we will never subscribe to that, because we have faith in what we believe. We honor it. We will not destroy it by justifying any and all means to gain our ends.
Here, here.
Judge, you took too much on yourself. You went too far.
Let's vote. Gentlemen, the clerk will now poll the delegates.
I'm sorry, Morvan.
I'm sorry, too. For all of us. Especially for him.
What do you think he'll do now?
Well, with Nevada joining the Union, he'd like to go back to Virginia.
And what about you?
I must go with him. You understand, don't you?
I understand there's a war between us.
War's in sometime.